Hi, Jeremy Cordeaux in the Court of Public Opinion. I'm just on air here to let you know that we'll be live streaming the Court of Public Opinion every Friday between 9 o'clock and 12 on jeremycordeaux.com. Please join us. We'd love to have you.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and gays.
From gutters to gay bars and everywhere in between.
Here to finish off your Tuesday, it's your three besties, two brunettes and a gay.
Ha-ha, me hearties. I thought I'd start a bit different today.
And why are you starting like that today, Aaron?
Well, it's Speak Like a Pirate Day.
International Speak Like a Pirate Day.
I just sound like a drunk Scot.
Yeah, I was going to say, you sound Scottish.
Yeah. It's probably still my cheek is still healing from the wisdom teeth surgery, so I can't really get the accent right today.
You got a bit of practice though, because if anybody's been listening to us for a while, you know that Aaron got hypnotised a few months back, and he had to act like a pirate.
Har har! I think that still triggers me, actually. To be honest.
You actually couldn't say your name either. I think you were trying to say Aaron, but you couldn't get Aaron out, so you were like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right.
If you haven't heard that episode, go back on the podcast and see where Aaron got hypnotised, and you'll have a good time with that one.
So funny. But no, it's International Speak Like a Pirate Day, which is a very interesting day in my eyes. Like that we've got a day dedicated to speak like a pirate.
I know. We're not 100% sure if it's international or if it's national or if it's not.
International.
It is. It's international.
It's all over the world. So we're going to be celebrating it today and tomorrow, given the time difference of certain countries.
This is a day for the world's pirates.
But do you want to hear my gay pirate joke?
Do I want to hear your gay pirate joke? Go on. Let's hear it.
What's a gay pirate's favourite hobby?
What?
Sailing the 7Ds. Ha ha!
Lol.
Aaron, that was actually poor
funny.
form for you, because I think you're funnier than that. You could have made up a better one.
Shut up. Well, the other one is, do you know any good pirate jokes? Well, neither do I.
Oh, this
Welcome
shows
to
off.
two brunettes and a gay.
This is a great Tuesday already. But at least we can hear that his voice is sounding much better from his surgery. Last week he was all like, woe me.
Are you fully recovered?
He's arring all over the place.
Well, I'm still swollen, which is annoying. I thought I'd be recovered a lot quicker, but no, it's still healing. It's still healing, so to speak. So
good to see you feeling better than last week.
But still feeling better.
Good.
Yeah, about 70% there. Good.
How was your weekend, Celeste?
Oh my God, I don't even remember it.
That good?
I had a big one. No,
Ooh.
No, it was not too bad.
Not too bad.
Deanna?
Yeah, same. Aaron, though, you popped a very special cherry recently, didn't you?
Oh my God, where are you going with this?
You popped your Google review cherry.
Yes, I did.
For the first time.
I did.
Join the ranks of the Google reviewers.
Popped for the very first time.
And if you've never done a Google review, I don't know how you only just popped your Google review cherry, mind you. But if you've never had a Google review before, I don't know if you've experienced this before, but Aaron had a very interesting story around his very first Google review. And so we're going to talk you through that right after this.
Well, welcome back. As Deanna mentioned before the break, I did pop my cherry over the weekend. I know everyone's waiting with bated breath about what I popped my cherry with. What are you looking at me like that for, Celeste?
I just think people assume it's nothing serious.
And to be honest, it wasn't anything serious, no. No, well, as you know, I had my wisdom teeth out. It's nearly 2 weeks this week, so yeah, nearly 2 weeks ago. But the hospital I was in was absolutely fabulous. We had a great lot of staff on. We had great nurses, the people working behind the front desk. Everyone was so lovely.
Awesome.
And you know when you just have such a good experience, like for something so painful and something that's quite worrying, you know, to have people like that, you think, you know what, how do I give back?
Yes.
How do I give back?
They
How
made
do
you
I...
feel real comfortable.
Comfortable. They were so accommodating. They were so lovely. They made me feel calm.
Were you in a like hospital or like a day hospital?
I was in it's a hospital, but it was day surgery.
Yeah.
So, but even from the get-go, you know, the lady behind the front counter, she was like, "Oh, you poor thing, you must be," because I went in, I was the last patient of the day.
And what time did you go in?
I wasn't actually in the surgery until about 4:00.
Right.
So
That's a long time.
you know, the anticipation
Is this
was
a
building all
fasting
day.
surgery?
It was. So I had a huge breakfast at like 6:00 in the morning, and then I had to fast, obviously, until then. So again, I kept myself busy all day, like by just doing all the housework and just keeping my mind occupied until the surgery.
You were ready to go.
But again, from the get-go, she was like, "Oh, you must be so worried, you know, being the last person to come in. Like, don't stress, it's all going to be okay." The nurse, she said the same thing. She was so lovely. So I wanted to give back, and the first thing I actually did was, it's a bit cheeky of them, obviously, but, you know, I'll do anything to give back. They gave a little, in the package I took home with my medication, you know, certificate and everything like that. Not a certificate to
with
say,
my teeth.
Here's your wisdom teeth certificate.
Is that with my lollipop and my teeth?
My medical certificate.
Did you give that to your parents to put on the fridge?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
Dad?
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah, he was so
Mark
proud.
hung it up in a frame.
No, he did, yeah. But with that package, they gave this little thing, and it was like, if we always welcome donations and things like that. So the first thing I did was I donated some money to the hospital. I thought, you know, good on them.
Didn't you already donate money to the hospital when you had the surgery?
Did you give them enough already?
Well, true, but the majority of the money actually went to the surgeon, not the hospital. So I thought I'll donate first, and then I thought, you know what? And it must have been the drugs I was on.
Feeling generous?
The good opioids that they gave me. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give a Google review.
Oh.
And I thought, you know what? I'm going to get my laptop out while I'm still on this high from the surgery, and I'm going to give a nice Google review.
And I'm going to tell them what I really thought.
That's right. And it was a positive thing this time, you know. It wasn't something that I had to sit on and, you know, think, well, just calm down, Aaron. It was something that I was like, you know what? I really want to say something poignant.
Is this like exactly like when you get on that that high when you're drunk and you feel like you should comment on everybody's Facebook post?
Yes, it
like
was kind of similar to that. Yeah,
okay.
kind of similar to that. And because I wanted to be poignant.
Can we just take a moment that Aaron has actually written down in capitals the word poignant.
Poignant, or poignant as they call it. But I think poignant
on his running order because he wanted to specifically use that descriptive word.
Fabulous word.
What does poignant mean, Aaron?
I don't really know. But, but I think I just wanted something that, you know, meant something. I didn't want to just give a throwaway Google review just to say, you know, oh, great job, great staff, great nurses. I wanted to have something that actually, you know, had a bit of depth to it.
Yeah, okay.
You know, something. What are you?
I just googled the word poignant.
Yeah,
and it says evoking a keen sense of sadness or regret.
The complete opposite to what you were trying to achieve with this Google review.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. A definition, a poignant reminder of the passing of time. Oh.
Well, that is deflating. They just got your poignant review and thought, "Sheesh, we did a shit job."
Am I getting these mixed up? Am I meaning poignant? Maybe try poignant, not poignant.
Is there a
Isn't that the way you spelled
the same thing? Oh,
Is it-
Okay, so
God.
this has become a
just wanted
story
to be
about the word
embarrassing.
poignant.
You wanted to be concise.
Christ. And
you wanted to be clear,
I'm-
concise about what you were trying to communicate.
Yeah, whatever. I'm over it
let's
now.
go with that.
Bloody hell. Let's
Keep
just-
going.
All right, so
let's just
what
move
happened
on.
with the
What
Google
happened?
review?
Anyway, with the poignant review, so I had no idea what to write, and I was thinking I wanted to get some ideas because it's my first Google review. I didn't know how they were structured, how people sort of. I just wanted something in, you know, to give me a bit of a guide, and so I went on Google and looked for well written Google reviews.
Right.
You were high.
You
You Googled how to write a Google review.
Yeah, pretty embarrassing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Pretty embarrassing.
That's a level of commitment.
All of the search options that came up actually came up with funny and terrible Google reviews. And obviously the funnier Google reviews are, the worse they are.
Yeah.
So I kind of got a bit lost.
What, in the world of Google
In
reviews?
the world of Google reviews. And I was there probably for the next hour having a good old laugh while my meds were still working, looking at the funniest Google reviews.
What did you find?
So I got distracted. I want to read to you some of these funny reviews I found.
Yeah, I want to hear
for it, I'm
this.
keen.
Because I think you're gonna lose your crap, so to speak. Because some of them
Lose
are
your
just,
teeth.
You built this up, so it better be funny.
Oh, look, I've got a few of them. So let me just start with something
All right,
that's
okay.
sort of simple and lead you into it. The first one, this one was interesting. It's a review of a butterfly farm.
Okay.
Okay. So Slime Panda writes, 1 star, awful place if you don't enjoy swarms of butterflies. Also, fruit on show is for butterflies only and not to be eaten.
What?
At a butterfly farm.
Didn't want
Who would've
butterflies at the
thought?
butterfly farm. Slime Panda, come on.
Come on. So this next one, this is about a strip club across the road from a hotel this person stayed in Denver. So 2 stars. The posters all have pictures of dancers with pizza. There was no pizza. My wife and I were very disappointed. We stayed for only 2 dances and left.
So they reviewed
and
the
pole
hotel
dancing.
or they reviewed the nightclub, the
They
strip
reviewed
club?
this strip club. Apparently the posters of the strippers had dances with pizza.
Oh, so they thought they were going to get pizza and watch the dances.
Pizza and pole dancing, yeah.
Right, okay,
but they were
but the
disappointed.
absence of the pizza
There's
was-
an absence of pizza.
Maybe
Yeah,
this was a
okay.
time thing. What time did they
Misleading.
go?
Yeah, maybe it was after the kitchen was closed.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything else was
After
open.
dinner.
Maybe,
before
yeah. Well, you think
The
strip
kitchen
clubs
was
don't really
closed.
get started until late, so, you wouldn't be having a pizza
Yep.
at 1 o'clock. The next one's quite interesting. This is funny. My local laundromat... This is a 2 star. My husband and I literally found a dead body lying in the parking lot of this place last week. He'd been lying in the parking lot for so long that rigor mortis had set in and no one had come out to check him until I called the police. Anyway, great taco truck in the parking lot.
What? What? Someone Google reviewed they found a dead person?
Can I just read the final one? This is my favourite. Okay, this is from Shane.
Oh my
this is the
God.
last one, I promise.
Shane
This is a-
Callahan.
Callahan, this is a fast food joint, so this is a 1 star. During my week in Budapest, I was hospitalised with COVID and mugged at gunpoint, but eating this food was definitely a low point.
Ow.
How's that for poignant?
Those are more poignant.
Poignant. It's another word.
Okay, so to answer our question
So-
then, what did you end up writing on your Google review?
Well, I didn't get any inspiration from this, so
Great staff, great hospital.
Round back to great staff, great hospital, great service.
Would recommend. Full stop.
5 stars.
Two Brunettes and a Gay back here on your Tuesday, and we are headed into one of our favourite segments. It is your Two Brunettes and a Gay Tuesday Tea Time
Woo.
with Celeste and Aaron. Because again,
We need that audience sound that's like,
yeah, love it.
All right, what's happening on the red carpets of the world this
Aaron?
week, peeps?
You're going to give us a good what you watched of the VMAs. We
Good
want to hear
hard.
about it.
There's been a lot going on in the world of celebrity this week.
Yay.
But no, first of all,
Yay.
I you seem so excited about that together.
Go on, get into it.
No, well, actually, it's so this week, of course, we can't go past the 39th MTV VMA Awards.
30? Is that it?
39 years it's been going for.
Why did I think it'd been going for a lot longer than that?
It feels like it's been going forever, right?
Yeah.
MTV's a newer kind of...
I guess it's
Yeah,
an MTV
early
thing.
80s,
Yeah,
early
okay.
to mid 80s.
Yeah.
But
Look,
look,
40 next year, the big 40.
well, let's hope it picks itself up.
Oh, you weren't impressed.
Do you know, I don't think I've been impressed with a VMA since maybe, 2009, when Lady Gaga did her paparazzi performance.
I feel like I've said this to you before, but I don't know how you remember remember every year's VMA Awards.
Or again, if there's something iconic about it, it sticks in my head.
Okay, so that was your last, like, real iconic VMA.
Iconic VMA. But you know what? The problem is with this generation and this society, they worship a lot of artists that I really can't connect with anymore.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We talked about this
We talked about it the other week.
a couple of weeks ago when I said the music of today, I just can't get on board.
Can't get on board. And so I thought, you know what? I was working from home on the day, and I thought it's the first time ever. So we have MTV at home, but it was the first time it wasn't aired on MTV here in Australia. It was aired on 10 Peach.
Oh, right.
Which was odd. So I chucked it on, and again from the get go, there was these artists like Lil Wayne, sorry, I should say, Lil Wayne, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Anita, Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, and the common theme I found was that you would find more decorum on the red carpet at the Porn Awards than you would at the MTV Awards.
I feel like every artist that you just named, bar possibly Lil Wayne, Lil would be all about like booty shaking.
It was all twerking.
Yeah.
They dressed like strippers. They had poles. They were dancing on poles. They were twerking. They were trying to shock. But when you've got every single person on that stage trying to do the same thing, it's not shocking anymore.
No, you know what would be shocking? If somebody did something demure.
I know.
And that's why I found it interesting when I watched Olivia Rodrigo. Because she actually, her first performance, it was something a little bit more laid back. She was showing off her voice and it was fabulous. And I was just thinking, where is the diversity in music? Where's the talent? Where's the focus on the music? It was a focus on purely the twerking and the,
sex sells is what they say.
You got to know when to change it up. Classic Lady Gaga. You got to think she went like as crazy as possibly could be, and then she just dropped it and went completely like.
That's it.
You know, I guess more like demure is the word for it, and then it just blew up because it was different from what she was known for.
Okay, so you didn't love the VMAs, but there was some notable things that happened. Okay, so tell us. We had Shakira.
Oh, Shakira, and P.S. Look, if I could get movement down there, my gosh, it would be for her.
Shakira would do it for you.
She looks amazing. Shakira, she looks fabulous.
She is very beautiful.
She's gorgeous. So she got the I think it's the Vanguard Award.
Yeah, that's like a special award,
huge
right?
Award. Yeah. It used to be called the Michael Jackson.
She got
Vanguard
in some
Award.
trouble,
but she lip synced the whole thing. So everything it was like, but she didn't just lip sync; she lip synced poorly.
Yeah, right. So she didn't even try.
Her hips didn't lie, but her lips did.
Oy.
Her lips sung.
Pun intended.
So you thought I thought that was a bit of a letdown. I mean, but the thing is, though, even though she lip synced that whole thing, that was more memorable than the rest of the performances on the night.
Right.
Okay, more memorable though than the reunification.
The reunification.
The reunification of NSYNC.
That is, I feel like that has to be the highlight of anybody's day.
I think it was the highlight for Taylor Swift, who they presented an award to, right?
She loved it. She was saying that she had the NSYNC dolls back in the day when she was growing up. And I'm more a Backstreet Boys fan.
Yeah, because you're a bit older.
I couldn't really get it. Yeah, I am older. Yes.
We're a little bit younger, so we were more NSYNC.
But they're not touring, though. Apparently they're just reunited for one song for the new Trolls soundtrack.
Oh, right, and that's it.
And then he's going on to it.
I loved NSYNC.
Yeah, but they do have some good songs.
I would love to see them make a comeback. I mean, Backstreet Boys has been back for years. Backstreet's
back.
All
Back
right.
for years. But I don't know. I just think, I mean, look, and the thing is, what I loved about it was that Taylor Swift won pretty much all the awards.
Yeah.
Video of the Year, Song of the Year, Artist of the Year. And I thought, I wish she performed. I would have loved to seen a Tay-Tay perform.
She does go above and beyond.
Credit where credit's due. I mean, I don't know a lot of the other performers that you named all that well, but in my opinion, from what I've seen of all of them, I definitely think that Taylor Swift is much more talented.
Agree.
And much better at the craft.
Absolutely.
And so I'm glad that she won the awards.
And maybe it's just
Kanye wasn't, but I am.
Maybe it's just a matter of as well, like the MTV Awards used to mean something back in the day, and it used to be like, you know, the night of nights basically for the music industry. I think it's more the Grammys now. I think the MTV VMAs, MTV doesn't play music anymore, really.
It doesn't.
So, you know, it's not really, it's more about the reality TV culture than it is about
that's true.
The
Gone
music
are the
these
days.
Oh, at least we got to live through MTV back in the day.
Speaking of gone are the days.
Yes.
gone are the days of marriage, apparently, as well, because this week was a big week for divorces in the celebrity world. I mean, we kicked off the week, well, last week, we kicked off with Joe Jonas and, is it Sophie Turner? Is that her name?
I don't even know who
Nobody
that is.
cares about the Jonas Brothers.
I think everyone cares about the Jonas Brothers. They're doing a tour. They're coming back. I think it's sold out in like 3 minutes.
Nobody like over the age of 12, I think, cares about the Jonas Brothers.
No, I don't even. Yeah, didn't they wear purity rings? That's
Either
all I
way,
remember of them.
there was a lot of speculation surrounding that divorce and why he failed, because they had a baby, I think, only recently, maybe no more than a year or so ago, and they didn't get married that long ago. So that was one, and then heartbreak on the weekend.
I know.
Absolute heartbreak on the weekend after 27 years. Hugh Jackman, Deborah Lee Finesse, Australia's own.
I know.
Devastated to hear.
I feel like everyone's been waiting for that to happen for years, though, because it just seemed like that they were
an interesting match.
They were an interesting match.
I had been when I was single. I was like, I want Hugh Jackman. When are they going to
I know,
divorce?
well, that's it. And, further to our gaydar conversation from last week, your gaydar rings a bell when Hugh Jackman's in question, isn't it?
Believe me, I think there's more to Hugh than we know.
Well,
more to Hugh than meets the eye.
I'm rooting for Hugh to be straight.
But we love him no matter what. What a showman.
What a shame. What a showman. So on the weekend, I said again I didn't really do much. That's just because Aaron talks a lot. And to be completely honest with you, I feel like I can't really tell you guys what I did on the weekend because he's just complaining about his mouth for the last 3 weeks.
By next week, we won't talk about Aaron's teeth anymore.
We don't want to hear about your teeth, Aaron. We want to talk about our trip to Europe again.
Oh, shut up.
Had a beautiful christening on the weekend. My beautiful best friend christened her baby girl, little Georgia. So beautiful. And this was the first time that I had attended, and actually Deanna was in attendance too, along with my family, had attended an Greek Orthodox baptism. I'd never been to one before. And it was fascinating to see the way that different traditions play out. I mean, obviously you've been to thousands, maybe not thousands.
We've been to a lot of baptisms.
A lot of baptisms, a lot of christenings in Catholic tradition, right?
Yeah.
We're Catholic, it's the way we were brought up. So we've been to many of them, but never a Greek Orthodox one.
I had heard that it was different, though.
Yeah, and fascinating at the way different cultures and different religions carry out these traditions. So it led us to think, there's so many traditions, whether it be cultural, religious or otherwise, that we aren't aware of, that people follow or that people recognise, right? One that I've known of for years, but I don't know if the two of you know about, is one that I've always found fascinating, okay?
Right. What's that?
Have you ever heard of pastafarians?
Sounds delicious.
I have.
So, Deanna, you know what a pastafarian is. Aaron.
It has to do with pasta, doesn't it?
It actually does.
It does?
It does.
Okay. I haven't heard of it. Pastafarian.
So a pastafarian is the deity of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Okay, it's a social movement that promotes a lighthearted view of religion, and they worship the monster of pasta or the flying spaghetti monster.
That's a religion I can get into.
You're like, I'm on
there.
board.
Where do I worship?
When I first heard of that, I was like, you're joking, right? But if you Google it, it's
a thing.
An actual religion.
It's an actual thing.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way that they, I guess, identify like with their religion or as like a badge of honor, so to speak, of the religion is that a lot of pastafarians will wear a colander on their head. A pasta colander. And there's no joke about this because
this is true.
We have a true story about this. So a good friend of ours, Yvette, shout out to Yvette if you're listening. She works at Service SA, so government organisation.
Getting you your licences.
And she's the manager of one of the branches now, but back in the day when she was in charge of taking some licence photos, she had somebody come in with a colander on their head for the licence photo.
What?
That insisted that it was discrimination because they were asking him to take it off. So he had to appeal it, and it turns out that he was correct, and he got to leave it on for his licence photo.
Stop it.
True story.
Isn't that incredible?
True story. So if you would like to officially join Pastafarianism because you're ready for a colander, like you would like the look of a colander, you can.
I love
You can have it wherever you like.
Brilliant.
You want to wear it on the plane? Go for it.
I have questions, though, that I want to ask because, like, if you wear the colander on your head, does it have to also have pasta in it? Where's the representation? Because a colander can be used to drain anything. So where is the relation of a colander to being Pastafarian?
If there's any Pastafarians listening,
Can you call into the station? We have so many questions for you.
Too many questions.
Way many questions.
or head to Two Brunettes and a Gay on Instagram and shed some light on it all for us.
Yeah, and Pastafarian. So the spaghetti,
Flying spaghetti monster. FSM.
So, but does a Pastafarian, is it only spaghetti that's their religion, or is it like, you know, does it extend to penne? Does it extend to fettuccine?
Well, I think it's in the name, Pastafarian.
Okay,
so I think any type of pasta qualifies.
Okay.
But the flying spaghetti monster, I guess, just happens to be. I don't know if he has meatballs as eyes, maybe.
Is the overlord?
Yeah, I believe that he's the god. You know,
maybe.
And that's being completely serious. And I know it sounds like we're
taking it sounds like we're taking the piss, but we're actually not. Like, this is genuinely a religion. So there you go.
Okay, what about you guys? Do you know of any cultural traditions, anything that you just found fascinating?
Well, you know, interestingly enough, because I mean, yeah, obviously I went to the Orthodox christening as well, and we didn't mention what was so different about it. But you know, being obviously brought up in a different religion, like our baptisms are really simple. It's like, you know, there's the baby, and then you pour some water on the head, and it's like, ha ha, you're baptized. Standard. Whereas in the Orthodox tradition, like the baby is, you know, like has no clothes on. It's fully dunked into the water and dumped into the water. It's like multiple times, like put into the water and out of the water, obviously. And you know, there's lots of chanting going on. If they cut off a bit of its hair, and there's incense going at the same time, so it's like lots going on for the senses, which is interesting. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to look into some interesting traditions, and one of the ones that always comes up for me is Jainism, because Jainism is, again, another type of religion. And if you don't know about it, you should look into it. It's some kind of Buddhism, but I believe that it's even more, I guess, strict than Buddhism. And the thing that's most interesting about Jainism is that the monks in the religion have to be ready to renounce all worldly things to become a Jainist monk. Therefore, once they become a monk, they live the rest of their life in the nude.
Aaron's like, sign me up.
Sign me up,
No,
Scotty.
Close. Right? So,
really?
Yeah.
Can you be a Pastafarian monk?
I don't
Well,
know.
I don't think you're allowed a colander on you.
I think we're talking like ancient
to-
religion versus modern religion here, so I don't know.
Do you have to give up your colander as one of your worldly possessions?
Is it
I would say
a
so.
worldly possession?
But could you not argue, like you did in Service SA, that you can't make me take this off? Oh, there's so many questions surrounding this.
I don't know.
Well, at least the license photo in Service SA, if you're a was it a Jainist? Is that what you call it? A Jainist?
Jainist.
Like a Jainist.
Yeah.
Hey, Jane. A Jainist. Then, you know, it's going to be, you know, from the head and shoulders up anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
That's lucky.
Yeah, that's lucky. There you go. What about you, Aaron?
Oh, look, you know, one that's always got me, that I find a bit interesting, the old tooth fairy.
Jeez, you went real out of the box with that one, Aaron.
No, hear me out.
It's got something to do with the fact you just had your wisdom teeth removed.
Correct. I didn't.
You got issues. You didn't get any cash.
I had to pay $1,700 for that. Not bloody get $1,700 under my pillow for that. I mean, so
did you leave a glass out with your teeth in it? Did you ask for your teeth back from the surgeon and then put them under a glass and then walk out the next morning and be like, what did I get?
Yeah, I got nothing. I got pain is what I got.
What's interesting about the tooth fairy?
I just find it interesting. Like, you grow up and you just... It's this weird thing where your parents are like, okay, so, you know, to calm a kid down, they lose a tooth. You lose a tooth. It's like, oh, my God, what's going on? What's wrong with me? And I guess that's a great way to calm a kid down, is to say, well, don't worry, the tooth fairy is going to come and they're going to give you lots of money and, you know, it's all kind of...
It might even be to soften the blow of the fact that half the time they rip the tooth out of the child's head.
Well,
so
that's
it's like,
true.
let us do it. The tooth needs to come out. You'll get cash.
Did you ever hear of that kind of old wives' tale where it was like, my mum used to say, like, oh, you know, back in the day they used to have to like tie ribbon to the tooth or string to the tooth and tie it to the doorknob and then
slam the door shut. Yes.
Oh my God.
And we
Can you imagine
tried
anything
it.
Worse? Yeah, it
No,
didn't
I
work?
don't think
No.
we did.
But I just think it's funny because you get to a certain point, you start losing teeth, and then the tooth
When
fairy
does
never
the
returns.
cash stop?
Correct.
Is that your question?
And what happens later in life if you do lose a tooth? Where's the tooth fairy then?
Well, actually, I think I can
restricted?
answer my own question. I think the tooth fairy stops when you stop losing teeth, because when you get adult teeth, you don't lose them anymore.
Well,
unless you have too much sugar
Yeah,
on it.
that's right. Unless you're really bad at brushing your teeth. Look, from what I can see on Google, apparently it's the Viking tradition.
Is it a Viking tradition?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The teeth is some
Fact
sort of
checker Deanna
good
over
luck
there.
charm. In a
it's
battle.
right.
I don't know if
Okay.
your teeth are good luck charm in a battle or if you knock somebody else's out, they are.
Well, I was pretty lucky, given the fact that I've got a small jaw and too many teeth. I had a lot to lose, so I did get a fair bit of money as a kid growing up.
So, interesting things have been happening in South Australia. You
They
might
always
have heard
are
of this
in
one.
South
Aaron had
Australia.
his teeth removed for one of them.
I'm going to keep going on about that.
I know.
I love the sympathy. That's what I love about it.
But look, if you haven't heard the news, basically police are investigating an incident on the Seaford line, which is a train line.
Seaford train line.
After a
David's
couple
lost.
was
David
caught.
knows what it's about.
Yes, a couple was caught appearing to have a little bit of hanky-panky aboard a commuter train in a video posted to social media on Tuesday night last week.
Posted to social media.
I mean, yeah, like legit, if you recorded that, like you might send it to a couple of close friends, but...
Yeah.
Is this representative of the line? Is this representative of the area of Adelaide it was going to?
Much love to our southern friends.
Yeah,
Listening
careful,
in.
Celeste, what we say there. But the Department of Infrastructure and Transport told the Advertiser that the incident had been referred to by SAPOL as inappropriate behaviour.
It's a very kind way to put it.
It is. But
Inappropriate.
basically, SAPOL has come out and said that they're going to examine the video.
Of course they are. They're sitting in an office somewhere. Like, we'll watch this.
Over and over.
Rewind.
Put
Go
it on
again. I'm not 100% sure what
Put
I
it on the
saw.
high def.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
they'll be like, you've been at this all day. Research.
Who's got the donuts?
Apparently, they're trying to identify the people so that the appropriate action can be taken to prevent offensive acts occurring in public view.
Okay, so I want to make a bit of an example.
They want to make an example out of this. So I don't yet know if the couple has been identified or not, but it had me thinking about PDAs. And if you don't know what PDAs are, we're talking about public displays of affection. Whether or not you give a bit of affection to your partner or multiple partners in public, or if you're like, no, that is something that's always for behind closed doors, because interestingly enough, when you talk about this with your friends, I feel like everybody has mixed opinions on PDAs. Like I've had debates about it before. So I thought, Celeste, Aaron, are you for or against the PDA?
I think it depends on what type of PDA we're talking about. Like, of course I would hug and kiss my husband in public, but to a degree that I felt was like just, appropriate. I would never like jump on him.
Well, what are you saying, like, degree of appropriateness? For example, like, are you talking a peck? Are you talking a pash? Would you sit on his lap, like, appropriately sit on his lap?
Yes, of course I would. I would say, like, if we were at a restaurant or if we were at, like, a bar or something and there wasn't enough chairs, I would always sit on Jake's lap, but in an appropriate manner.
So holding hands, walking down the street.
You wouldn't
That type of thing. Yeah, of course I'd hold his hand.
Sit on his lap, not straddle him.
Yeah, exactly. There's a huge difference. There's a
is a
huge
difference.
difference.
Yeah, there is a huge difference between public display of affection and a public display of erection.
Well, Aaron, are you for or against the PDA?
Oh, I hate the PDA.
Not into
Really?
Not into it. And Mark isn't either, so thank God we're both on the same page.
Right, so when you see other people in the action of PDA, what are your thoughts?
But do you know what? I'm actually a bit ageist when it comes to PDAs.
Interesting.
You were different when you were younger?
In reverse, I think it's cute when it's an older couple.
Really?
Like a cute older couple holding hands, giving each other a kiss. Like, I think that's cute. I think that's sweet.
Are you telling me that you wouldn't hold Mark's hand in public?
Oh, I wouldn't say I'd never have, but I wouldn't go for it. Like I wouldn't on purpose like go and try and
Grab his
instigate
hand.
that. No.
Really?
Yeah, no. It's just not my thing.
Is this an Aaron and Mark thing, or do you feel like this is common amongst gay men?
No, definitely not. It's the opposite, I reckon.
Oh, really?
I reckon we're a bit...
I felt like it was,
We're a bit of an
yeah.
exception to the norm.
You
because
are,
most gay
yeah.
people are, I think there's a lot more affection being shown. But Mark and I, we're just like, that bitter old married couple that just like, yeah, I don't need to hold your hand. You know I love you.
Well, I guess
there's none of that, public stuff.
Okay, so I guess the question is then how far is too far?
Well, exactly. How far is too far?
Well,
Because I'm all about the PDA.
Do you know what? The worst PDA, I think, it's not even in public. The worst PDA is on social media.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I
That's
find
true.
that icky.
Well, it's
Yeah.
one thing to just be in the moment and to embrace. It's another thing to deliberately document it several times until you get the perfect angle and
Yes.
then post it like it was spontaneous.
Yes,
Ding,
I
ding,
agree.
ding. Yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, I sent you to that thing the other day. It was of Maluma. The
Yeah.
rapper Maluma, and it was him and his girlfriend, and she's straddling him, and they're pashing, and they posted it to Instagram. I just thought, is this necessary?
Nah.
It's just icky.
No,
not.
I
Okay,
would
it's
agree
gross.
with that. I would definitely say that that's a line that I don't think people need to cross.
All right, so do you think that these Seaford Lion folks have crossed a line?
I mean, I haven't seen the video.
I haven't seen the
You haven't
video
Seaford the
either.
video.
Haven't Seaford lined the video. I think if there's speculation that that's what's happening, then it's probably gone too far.
Yeah.
You don't speculate that unless there's obvious signs. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think that, yes, they're probably definitely gone too far.
Yeah.
Too far on the PDA line.
Deanna, do you think they have?
Oh, I mean, I think they have, but I just find it spectacularly entertaining.
Oh, absolutely.
In just the fact that I'm like, well, I'm a little bit like when it comes to, so I don't get easily offended.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm a bit like, look, I wouldn't do it, but you do you at the same token. So I can't say that I think twice about things. I'd probably just laugh and walk off.
Yeah. I'd be the same, but it can't be comfortable on that chair either.
I've got to ask, though, it is also a certain type of person that is comfortable enough to sit there and film it.
Well, I don't know if they're comfortable or I think they're just trying to stir shit. Really.
Okay, but I feel like if you're filming it for the purpose of giving it to the police to say this is what happened and this was completely inappropriate, okay, that's one thing. But to film it and put it on social media, that's a different thing.
It is. It's an attention thing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we put it out to our listeners on social media, and we asked the question whether or not people think that this is a finable offence, because obviously SAPOL have said that they're going to issue a fine. So do we think this is a finable offence or do we not?
Yeah.
Aaron, would you say slap a fine on them or not?
Oh, I'd just give them a warning.
Just give them a
Give
warning.
them a warning to start.
Right.
Yeah. It's not the worst thing to happen on the Seaford line.
Potentially not. Celeste?
Look, I've never travelled the Seaford line, so I can't speak from experience. Do I think they should be fined?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think if you're going to try and stop people from doing... I mean, people are going to do it anyway. I don't know. Yeah, maybe they should be fined, but certainly not arrested. Is that even in question?
I feel like
Surely not.
potentially for hygiene reasons, maybe. That's why I would.
That's true.
I would find
Also
because
as well-
when they get off, whoever sits there next, they don't know.
Also
They
as
get
well-
off.
Once they get off, and then they actually get off.
I have
Well,
another
you don't
question. What time was this? Does anyone know?
No, I don't know what time.
Because are we aware if there was children present or anything on the train? That is a
Yeah.
different context again.
Yeah,
who
totally.
was present? When was it? How busy was the train? That could determine whether or not you think they should be fined,
Yeah.
they should be let off, they should be arrested. So many questions.
Well, look, our listeners had some mixed opinions, but, I mean, there was actually a general consensus on what everybody agrees. So the options was, hell yes, they should be fined. It's disgusting. Second option was, look, it's gross, but I don't think it deserves a fine. And the last option was, I'm all about the PDAs. We had two people say yes to, I'm all about the PDAs.
So it's not a popular opinion. There you go.
No. And then the next lot of people were, hell yes, it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of our listeners actually said, look, it's gross, but I don't think it deserves a fine. So there you go. Everybody agrees with that.
David's just shown a still shot of, I guess, what was the video. Is that as much as you can see on the video though? Because it's very, very minimal. Like it's mostly just train, and you can see like a girl's head just in the corner.
Yeah,
of
I've
it.
seen those pictures too.
Okay,
Yeah.
hard to tell. I mean, are the police really going to be able to
I don't know.
tell by that? I don't know.
Look, they weren't naked, so at least they didn't go that far.
Yeah, well, that's a step up.
There we go.
Well, as long as they got off at the right stop.
Interesting. PD.
That's all I can say.
Yes, or at least in time for the right stop, you know? You don't want to be just like, oh, shit, we've got to go all the way back and then
What's
jump on a
past
train again.
Got to push that button.
What's past Seaford?
The end of the world. It's not far, but you can see it from there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the moment you have all been waiting for, the highlight of your week. We are back this week with another segment of Shit Advice. Woo! We have our shit doctors here. Shit Celeste. Shit Aaron.
I've said it so many times. It's Dr. Shit Celeste. For God's sake, I won't be disrespected like this on International Pirate Speaking Day.
Talk like a pirate, Day. Celeste.
What did I say? Pirate Speaking Day.
I haven't heard you talk like a pirate yet.
Can you talk like a pirate, Celeste?
Gun. How about we answer the shit advice question as pirates?
Let's answer
Yeah.
shit advice. Well, I'm terrible at accents. I don't think anybody wants to hear that. But you guys can respond as pirates. See, that was my attempt.
That was
at saying
terrible.
How do you
Never
say it?
tried it.
Pirates?
Pirates, no.
Pirates.
That's a gay pirate. Pirates.
Pirates and pirates.
Pirates of Penzance.
Pirates. Okay, back to shit advice.
Yeah.
Okay, are
Didn't
you
study
ready?
in 10 years of medical school for this.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, this one's a doozy for you.
Okay.
We've got a really good shit advice question. Okay. Our hamsters are both men, and our kids are asking why they cuddle so much.
Oh, God.
How do I explain this to our children? As long as our hamsters are happy, I mean, really, do we care about their sexual preference? What I want to know is I think my hamsters are gay. How do I tell my children that my hamsters are gay?
You want me to answer this as a pirate?
As a pirate? Yes, my heart is.
I don't even know where to begin. I think that I can't do it.
I've got 2 men hamsters. That's all I got was, how can a hamster
We
be a
lost you
man?
after the first sentence of the question.
All right.
Oh, that's
You don't have to
funny.
answer as a pirate. We'll leave it for Aaron.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be tricky. Yeah.
Okay. Do you need to tell them?
Yeah.
I just feel like, why do you need to even tell? Like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
Well,
Why
that's
are
what she
we?
said.
Why are we like? Okay, yeah. I just feel like it doesn't. I don't feel like it matters. My advice would be, don't tell them. Yeah. Are you trying to do we want the hamsters to reproduce?
Yeah. Do you want grand hamsters?
I don't know.
Gramsters?
You don't think that it's a good opportunity to explain the birds and the bees and the bees and the bees and the birds and the birds to the children?
Yeah, well, education station, you know.
Is that what you think?
You
Aaron?
sit them down and say, look, little Lily, let me talk to you about this situation here.
Say it as a pirate.
Look, now Chris Hamsworth and Benedict Hamsterbatch, they're friends, but they're friends with benefits.
They love each other just like mum and dad do.
That's right. And you know, just be prepared that they love each other very much and they love you, but they're not going to procreate.
Okay.
There's not going to be any little mini hamsters running around,
Well, no, but I think
but they're enough.
But I think that they know that they're boys, so I don't think they're expecting there to be some extra hamsters. I think they're just wondering why there's hanky-panky from the hamsters.
I would just say, look, they love each other just like mum and dad love each other, and we love them like we love you. And then speak in a pirate and just distract them.
Can I just say, it's like, you know, like I have this vision in my head of like a hamster with the wheel. But like two gay hamsters in the wheel just spinning around.
Just working out.
Getting fit for Mardi Gras.
Yeah. Who's the fitness guy? The gay fitness guy. That was huge. Oh my God, I was watching a podcast.
That's like finding a needle in a gay stake. What are you talking about? A gay fitness man?
You know who I'm talking about. Richard Simmons. A little hamster with little sweatbands in his little running.
Is that how you imagine a gay hamster?
I imagine
imagine someone like a gay hamster sitting there with like a fag in it, like a martini or something. like a cigarette.
Actually,
can I say fag?
As the story would happen,
a martini.
As the story would happen,
bitching about every other hamster that they know.
He is sitting there with a fag. But I can't make any promises about the martini.
That is brilliant. A little hamster martini. Little teeny tiny hamster martini.
Slime Panda, I don't know if that answered your question. I know that wasn't the person that asked it. But...
Was that Slime Panda?
No, Slime Panda was your Google review.
Oh, right.
That's a fantastic name for a Google review.
Slime Panda.
There you go. Okay, so the general consensus is it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're out, they're proud, they're hamsters. Let them live their life.
That's right. You don't, we let
Give them a couple of little martini glasses and let them entertain you.
That's right, exactly.
You know,
you could get them a little, like, gay pride flag.
Or get them a stage.
They're not doing
get
anything.
them a stage.
But this,
see some shows.
They could do dragster. They could be drag hamsters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dramster. Dragster. I get what you're saying, but
for
this
a minute,
is why
I went to car racing, and I was like, "Oh, that seems like not the right fit." But I get where you're going.
I love where
your
your head went with that.
I love how this is why you guys are shit doctors, because the question I asked was how do they explain it to the children, not what do they do about the gay hamsters.
I told you. They say they love each other like mum and dad love each other, and then speak like a pirate and distract them.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. Well, there you go.
Little breakback hamster. The forbidden love. I love it.
Good. All right.
That's
well,
if
you have any advice for shit advice that you would like us to give you some shit advice on, we love these shit advice questions, so please send them our way, and you can head to our social media to do so. Two Brunettes and a Gay, of course. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're just as funny there as we are here. Oh, sometimes we're not, and sometimes we are. You just have to follow us to find out. But also, if you've been listening live and you want to catch us on the podcast, where we edit the show to make it sound much better than what it does live.
It's shorter, sharper, and shinier.
Then you can head to the podcast available on all your major podcasting platforms. And of course, if you want to listen live, catch us at 5 p.m. every Tuesday on Radio Italia Uno and via the Radio Italia Uno Adelaide app. Celeste, you're putting your hand up at me.
I was just going to say the podcast is not entitled The Podcast. It's entitled Two Brunettes and a Gay.
Don't search the podcast. I don't know what will come up if you do that.
I wonder if anyone has that. We should take that.
Maybe we should tag that. Yeah,
maybe
the
two gay hamsters have that.
All right.
Now, have a fabulous week, and we'll see you
next Tuesday.
Ciao, Adelaide. It's your favourite trio, Two Brunettes and a Gay, here to remind you to join us every Tuesday at 5 p.m. for your drive home.
Expect the best beats, sassiest segments, and plenty of piping hot tea from the weekly rumour mill. And let's be honest, we know us Italians love a good gossip.
So tune in at 5 p.m. every Tuesday right here on your number one station, Radio Italia Uno, 87.6 FM.
Hi, Jeremy Cordeaux in the Court of Public Opinion. I'm just on air here to let you know that we'll be live streaming the Court of Public Opinion every Friday between 9 o'clock and 12 on jeremycordeaux.com. Please join us. We'd love to have you.